Well, still a lot going on in Congress. A lot of folks talking now about this Trans-Pacific trade deal, the fast-track authority for the president. We also don't want to forget our veterans who are still fighting for adequate health care at VA medical centers and other benefits they very well deserve to help them transition into a meaningful civilian life. This was the scene just last Sunday in Denver.
About 200 veterans rallied today and urged Congress to approve funding.
If this center is not completed, the only people it hurts are thousands of them, veterans from the Rocky Mountain region, not just Colorado.
Hundreds of veterans rallying in Denver. That was the CBS station there. They're talking about a hospital. And for more on this and the ongoing struggles facing veterans is Congressman David Jolly, a member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Congressman, it's great to have you with us. Let's talk about your bill, which deals with student housing for vets, in just a second. But first, I want to talk to you about this hospital in Denver because I think this illustrates the broader problem with the VA medical center. Some call this a boondoggle, and the vets want it built, though. And we can understand why. They want better health care. But a lot of folks are concerned about throwing good money after bad. This project has been plagued with cost overruns, and there's similar problems at other VA medical centers. What's the fix for this?
Well, that's exactly the issue. You know, so often the administration will say it just takes more money. The truth is the Colorado Hospital project started with a cost of $300 million. And a few years later, it is still not completed. And the VA secretary says it may cost up to $1.6 billion. Now, that's a management issue. That's an administration problem. And so, yes, we have to serve the veterans. We have to make sure there's adequate health care availability and capacity in Colorado. That will happen. But listen, if Congress wasn't providing sufficient oversight on this, we'd just be looking at runaway spending with still no completion of a hospital in Colorado. So what you're seeing is the system work. Congress providing oversight on behalf of the American people to make sure that money has already been wasted. But we don't want to see another dime wasted on behalf of our veterans. We can get to the end of this project, but we have to do so responsibly.
Yeah, responsibly. That would be nice to see for once when you look at the VA Medical Center. That seems like a very difficult problem to solve, although an important one. Let's talk about your bill, because to me it seems like a very common sense, easy problem to solve for our veterans. Right now, let's say if you're on the GI Bill and you go to school, you get money for your housing during the school year, but when it comes time for summertime, which a lot of folks go to school year-round now, that money dries up. Tell us how you plan to solve that.
Listen, that's exactly the issue, and this came to me from student veterans. Very importantly, I've tried to work collaboratively with stakeholders in my community on a number of issues. Veterans is one of them. So the student veterans came forward and said, here's the problem. We have this benefit, the GI Bill, we get to enroll in college, but just like any other student, during the summer, maybe we go to part-time, or maybe we try to work, earn a little bit of money for the rest of the year, but they lose their housing allowance. So my legislation would provide the housing allowance during the summer months when the students are not full-time enrolled, provided they can verify that they are indeed returning to school in the fall. It also provides housing allowance for the winter break over Christmas or the winter holidays. And then it does one other thing. It provides parity of the housing allowance for those who are enrolled full-time at an accredited university taking classes online. Currently, there is not the full-time parity or the parity in housing for those who go to college online.
And I think that's important because we're seeing education change and secondary education change and post-collegiate education change as well. And these vets need access to that education, and we should do as much as we can to help them. Congressman David Jolly, great to see you representing the people of Pinellas County on the west coast of Florida. Hope to have you back real soon to talk more about what's going on in Congress. Oh, Congress, actually, we have a few more seconds real quickly. What's going on with this TPP? Are we going to see anything pass before you guys take a summer break?
So I think it'll come up by the end of June. Some have said as early as next week. I'm not sure about that. I don't think the votes are there. And listen, fast-track trade authority is something that has to be taken very seriously, particularly considering an administration that we have challenged for years is overreaching. So how do we strike the right balance where we get to hold the president accountable but still pursue economic growth?
Yeah, still a lot of concern about the secrecy involved with some of this stuff. Congressman, looking forward to a debate on that on the floor of the House as well. Congressman David Jolly, thanks so much for being with us. More coming up here on Newsmax Now.